All right, Big Bang. Today is Wednesday. It is February 8th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. It's myself, Eddie, here with Chief, here with Danny, as usual on Wednesdays. Boys, how are we? Specifically, Danny. Fuck you, Chief.
I'm an 8.4, but I'm a little nervous.
That is way too high.
Yeah, that's way too high.
That's an 84%. It's a B.
I haven't been 84% in like 7-8 years.
Yeah, but that's not even like a skin of your teeth B. That's like, hey, you kind of knew what you were doing.
I mean, I've been eating healthy. I worked out. Those little things will take you up 1.8 higher. But I'm a little nervous because
felt like a shot.
We had. I don't mean to address your health crisis, quote unquote health crisis like that. But I'm a little nervous because at the end of this, we have a segment coming up that's promoting a foundation that's close to me. And right now, I feel like so many people are tuning in just for that. And then they're going to start off hearing us talk dick jokes, and it's like when you go to the theater with your parents, watch some blockbuster, and the opening scene is a sex scene, and you're like, all right, let's just get to the parts they were showing in the trailer.
I haven't even thought of that. To add some context here, so
I have no idea what we're talking about.
So we have a very, very good foundation coming on later in the show.
41 and 9.
41 and 9 foundation that's very personal to Danny. You talk about it a little bit, Dan, before we get to it
to
at
the
the end
jokes.
of the show.
Yeah, so these people are from the Northwest Side. That's where the foundation started. My friend Hank passed away in like 8th grade, and then we've kind of talked about it before. I eventually got the same leukemia as him, and so his family and their foundation just really helped me out during that time. So anything I can do to return the favor, and you'll hear more about it later.
For sure. So
that's the first I'd ever heard that you had a friend that had the same leukemia as you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's terrible.
And obviously it's Dan's story to tell.
Yeah.
Maybe one day he'll talk about it more when he's ready. But
we talked about it before I was even at Barstool. It was like 2019.
Yeah, I had Danny on. I think it was March, and he had we did a whole episode about how he had cancer and everything. And you could definitely go scroll back and listen to that episode.
Yeah, we could save it for a future free swim. It's like you can't just give the spark notes about it because people are so curious that it's gonna end up taking like an hour. That's the only thing.
Yeah, we give the spark
note. We'll just gloss over. I had cancer.
Yeah.
I'll take his good spark note. His good spark note is his Make-A-Wish was The Office. I just
little teaser.
Spoiler alert. You beat it.
I beat it. I just Michael Scotted his best story.
Yeah, you gave the spark notes. There's more to that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, but we could we could do it again, or we could post the episode however you want to do it. Dan.
I would like you to do it again because I think I missed that episode. I don't really know much about his cancer. I've been afraid to ask because anytime someone has something serious, I'm like, oh, maybe they don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Because anytime I have something serious, I just I want to deal with it by myself and not talk to anyone and don't ask me.
It's just that I obviously would talk about it in a jokingly way, but people still don't know if they should laugh or not. So
you have to kind of lead the way.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. And we could even get into more about how the occurrences too and how this foundation and how it blends with your life still to this day.
Yeah. Hey, maybe a little teaser for next week. So we don't have to make Chief sit in the chair and listen the whole time and cry.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that.
We know how sensitive
Crying Ryan.
We know how sensitive Chief can be. So I'm doing this.
Do you think the name Crying Ryan came out of thin air?
I don't think it did.
All right.
Did your buddies call you that?
No. No. I mean, it was
his bullies.
That was no, but yeah.
Well, it started off. It was my Aunt Katie when I was a kid, 4 years old, and I would get upset about something and start crying. She would double down, and be like, "Oh, Crying Ryan," and then that kind of became a thing. And then when I got older, I told somebody in a friend group one time, my aunt and my family used to call me Crying Ryan, and then that kind of spun out of control, and I was Crying Ryan for a while.
You just if you're getting called Crying Ryan at a young age, you have to just start telling a bunch of lies so you can now be called Lying Ryan. It's either Crying Ryan or Lying Ryan. Maybe Wildin' Ryan. Just get a little crazy.
Is that Ryan?
Toddler Chief. It's slant rhyme.
Kind of. Now I do kind of just want to bring up a bunch of embarrassing stories and shit for the people listening. No, for Danny because
that'd be more fun. Let's do his embarrassing story.
Yeah, because now he's got that whole audience listening to the
first timer. They've already fast forwarded. They looked at the YouTube segments.
They know when it's coming. Yeah, we could get
time stamped.
We could get to your 2017 Edison Park MILF story.
Let's.
We'll save that for the cancer episode.
Yeah, we'll save that for that.
Was that a Make-A-Wish too?
2017 Edison Park MILF story could stay in the archives for now.
Okay.
Actually, before we really kick things off here, I do want to talk about ChevyDriveChicago.com. Your local Chevy dealers want to wish you a happy new year, and there's no better way to kick off 2023 than with a brand new Chevy to drive around in. ChevyDriveChicago.com can help you pick out your new ride and to find a new dealer near you to order from. And don't forget to mark your calendars. The 2023 Chicago Auto Show is around the corner. It's in February at McCormick Place, and all your favorite Chevys will be there, Chief.
Yeah, Chevys are awesome. I'm in a rewatch of Mad Men. And in like a later season, they're like pitching Chevy, and they're like in their factory. They're doing a factory tour, and they're like in their offices. I'm like, man, Chevy has been and always will be like the coolest American brand there is. Like it just you say it and you just feel like a real man. Fucking Chevy.
I love going to the auto show and just looking at a bunch of cars I'll never be able to have, but not with Chevy because they're affordable, safe, and plenty of options.
And
They are.
They're reliable too.
So just search Chicago Auto Show to learn more.
A little tongue twister for you?
Yeah, for some reason it was. Search Chicago Auto Show to learn more at ChevyDriveChicago.com. All right, so you're feeling good now, but like apparently you had a weekend. You fucking were hurting.
Well, I had a Friday that involved Dante. So Dante's the guy who buys shots.
He's a great host.
He's a great host. That's what I mean. And obviously some cons come with that.
So much so that he gets mad when you don't ask him to be your host.
Yeah.
Correct. And but we were also at his new place, shout out Roundhouse Chicago in Logan Square. But I'm drinking like normal, just a couple cocktails. But then Dante comes and he keeps ordering shots. We must have had 6 or 7. Harry was there too. And so that just blindsides you so much because you're like, I wasn't expecting to get this kind of drunk, but I'm a dick if I don't accept a shot, especially from Dante. He might not talk to you ever again. And so I'm just forcing down shots. And next thing I know, I'm like, this is not how drunk I planned on being tonight.
Yep. Yeah, I think we've talked about this another place before, but when Bounce opened, Dante, it was a wild experience, but it was a Sunday during the divisional round. I remember the Patriots were playing the Ravens. It was that game where Amendola caught the pass from Edelman. So whatever year that was, 16 or something like that. And Dante was like, he was going to DJ at Bounce or something, but we walk in, the bar is completely empty. Middle of the day, Bounce. Nobody's there. It had just opened that weekend. So we're sitting there. We got, bottles. We're having a good time. I don't care if no one's there. And then at about like halftime, a coach bus pulls up. 50 Instagram models get off this coach bus, and they're like in like the back booths and just like hanging out and like dancing and posting for pictures, and that they're at Bounce.
Is Dante driving the bus?
Dante was not driving the bus, but I think he knew that they were coming, and it was just like I don't know what even to do with this. So no, this was 2018. This is 2018 because this is like one of the last times I got very sick from drinking, and so we had a bottle service, but then Dante is just like, he is the shot guy. Mm-hmm. He was bringing them over, and you're like, all right, yeah, like I'll do some shots. And I got back to the girls. I was meeting with a girl I was seeing at the time, and we were supposed to have dinner or something because this was in the afternoon. I just puked all over her bathroom, just puked fucking everywhere. And then I'm like, I can't go out. I just got to lay in your bed for a while. She's like, all right.
She's like, all right, crying Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, yeah. But it was like, he always, like, that's.
Sometimes the shot guy's necessary, though. Like, sometimes you need to, like.
What about that shot guy? The WSD guy?
Well, you know what the problem...
I'm never in the mood to take shots with White Sox. That's just like... Because then I feel like we're toasting to like being friends, and I don't want that. I never want that.
No, he'll bring it up a week later.
Church and
Remember that night we promised we were friends forever. But no, the problem with the shot people is that they don't drink the same as you. Like some shot people are just doing shots while you are doing both their shots and your regularly scheduled drinking.
Yeah.
There was someone I used to work with, and they would only drink shots. Like they would not sip on anything.
That's Marty and Glennie.
Yeah, Marty does that too,
Marty
right?
and Glennie do that, yeah.
That's crazy.
But they at least have each other, because people who just drink shots still have the mentality of, I can't take a shot alone. So you'll be drinking your beers, and every time it's like, you got to take a shot with them. It's like, I didn't sign up for this.
What do they do with their hands?
But I'll tell you what, though. Like, have you ever, like, went out and you just can't get drunk because you're just like it's just
there's
slow.
those days. Or like beer just does not do it at all.
Yeah, you just can't get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ever had that?
Yeah, I don't mind starting the
Being
day.
a Boilermaker guy is a surefire
Shot
way
and a
not
beer.
to. Yes, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
It really is.
Which is shotgun a beer?
A shot and a
Shot
beer.
and a beer.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do a Miller Lite, then you take a shot. Miller Lite shot. Miller Lite shot.
Yeah.
Like that, responsibly,
Yep.
obviously. But like that's truthfully like a good method to getting it done.
When
Because sometimes you're just sitting there and you're like, man, I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and dummy all these beers, and I'm just not gonna be.
and I'm
Yeah,
gonna get super full and I have to pee a lot.
Exactly.
You have to be motivated enough to be like if I have a couple beers, I'm like, it's one of those days where it's gonna be impossible for me to get drunk.
Yeah.
I might just call it quits instead of ordering JMOs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this age, at least.
The Departed came out like, I think I was like 06, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene in that where Jack Nicholson just walks up to the bar and he's like, give me a shot and a beer. And I'm like, that was fucking cool. And it became like my starter move at, when I was in my like early 20s, it was shot and a beer. Because I thought he looked cool doing it. And then I started doing it. And then it was, like anything else in my life, spiraled out of control. But that was, I think that is just like a good move. I might have to just start doing that again.
Yeah, it is.
And then maybe just be done for a while.
Yeah, the key is you got to find a good shot though.
I don't know that's the thing with Marty and Glenny that I haven't spent a lot of time drinking with them, but just doing shots, I would assume that they're like a half hour in between drinks. Probably.
Oh no.
How many shots are they doing in a night?
Well, not Ballsy. Ballsy will. I mean,
Ballsy puts them back.
I've seen Marty like on it, like trying to get after it, and he'll like kind of hammer that. Well, he'll be pretty. Marty will like take it easy.
I like the comfort of having a drink in my hand.
Sure.
So like
Glenny will.
that's the part I could get on board with being a shot guy. It's more efficient, but then I won't have like my social crutch of just holding something.
They're just on the dance floor holding a mini shot.
Yeah, exactly. Glenny will do like he'll do can I get a shot of vodka and a Diet Coke? That's what he'll do.
Won't mix them.
No, just a chaser kind of thing.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like leftover Coke to be drinking after the shot. What was I gonna say?
I agree. But well, you got something?
I don't know. I'm having a brain fart.
This is why I don't like this scene.
Why? Why you just
like a tennis match back and forth. with you guys.
Yeah, whenever you talk, I'm just looking at your ear, basically.
I got something.
All right.
What's the opinion on people using the terminology my work wife or my work hubby, my work husband?
Oh God.
What do you think about?
I don't think you could say that in front of your partner if you're married.
No, they do.
Dude, people do.
Oh God.
I can't go into specifics because of
the word hubby in general.
I know.
Yeah, I don't
along
like
with
that
work.
either.
I hammed it up there.
Yeah.
I hammed it up there because I think it's ridiculous.
It's fucking worse if you be like ever so casually like my work husband told me and my work husband had a good time.
But what do you think about people using that, like actually seriously saying like I have a work husband, I have a work wife in front of their significant others?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I would not.
It's like cheating.
That. Yeah, it is. Like that to me is like an emotional.
Because
cheating.
it's like my work crush.
Basically, I feel like the work husband is always a little bitch. I don't know if you've experienced that, but like the work husband is just like the guy who she orders around, and he will do anything for her because he's kind of in love with her typically, but she doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, if he's the work husband and he's the real husband, being allowing there to be, I mean, I guess what you do.
No, I wouldn't like it, but I do feel like when I've seen that used, like it's almost a pejorative on the work husband because he's doing all like the little honey-do shit around the office, and then he doesn't have any of the benefit.
I mean, I guess now that I think about it, like they just have to be not a threat at all.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I was at an event recently where someone introduced me to someone as their work husband and their work wife, and they both significant others were there, and they both saw it happen in the act, and like they
they just roll with it.
Workforce.
Yeah, have you seen the show Ted Lasso on Apple?
I haven't.
Okay, so there's a scene in the end, like I've watched that recently, where they have like this little nerdy guy who is like the equipment manager or whatever. He becomes an assistant coach, and then there's a main character girl who's dating another coach, and he kisses the girl. And then she tells this player who's like this big, strong, angry guy who's always like, that's his character. He's always angry in the show. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. And then the guy like who did the kissing like confessed, he's like, no, you're good. And he got like so mad, like, I kissed your wife. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you good with it? And that is like the biggest insult ever, to be the work husband, because you're just not a threat. You just can't be a threat. And if it is a threat, then it's actually probably a lot more going on.
This actually might be a good question for Hannah. Harry, could you go grab her real quick? We'll ask her what she thinks.
Has Hannah worked in a corporate environment?
She claims.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I can't either. But can you imagine if, like, Hannah introduced Danny as her work husband?
Like, there's never a need to do that.
Oh my God, that would never be allowed in this office.
No.
You'd be fucking ruthlessly pelted with snowballs until you.
Nor would I
cried.
want it. I know she wouldn't.
Yeah, I kind of want that just for you, just to make you feel like.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, just to make you feel awkward. Come here real quick. Sorry, you could.
Can share a mic.
Yeah, we'll share a mic. You could just squat in here.
Or stand.
Well, or limbo. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry. We're not a lot of room.
Obstacle course.
Not a lot of
Yeah.
room. Sorry.
We didn't think this through.
Sorry, my apologies. All right, so I just brought this up, Hannah.
Just squat in the corner.
Thoughts on people who have a work wife and a work husband.
Like they call them.
And they call them each other that in front of their actual
Significant
husband and
other.
wives.
They have to be gay. Like your work.
No.
Like Danny would be your
this
work.
is-
Oh my
I
God, it's my
know.
work husband.
If I had a work husband, they'd have to be gay. That's just weird. I don't understand the concept. Like, what are you doing, romantically? Like, what makes it a
So
wife?
like we said, if he's gay, he's not a threat, obviously.
Yeah, I just feel like that's a weird concept.
What would you say if your boyfriend was like, oh yeah, I was just like chatting it up with my work wife today?
I'd be like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I'd be like, what work wife? What are you doing that's not work? Like, why aren't you grinding? Why are you mixing and mingling?
It's crazy that expression exists, because it has to be accepted enough for people to feel comfortable using it, that we all know about it. But I've never heard somebody be like, yeah, I'm fine with that. No one's fine with it.
So I don't know if the couple was fine with it, because I didn't know them very well, but they introduced themselves as their work wife.
They're getting a divorce.
Imagine if the guy and the work wife were like hooking up for years, and they just found out. It's like, well, I told you she was my work wife.
Yeah.
Work mistress, I guess.
So would you ever call Danny your work husband?
Absolutely not. I feel like
about
that's
Harry?
just random and
don't.
weird. I just don't like that term. I think it's just so like in the same scale of like people who say like boss, bitch,
Yeah.
slay, queen,
no.
like work husband. Like, no, that's just like
What about work hubby? Is that better?
No, absolutely not. That's like you basically had sex in the office.
Yeah. Eddie's like weirdly gaslighting us into thinking this isn't as weird.
No, it's
Like,
but it is
like,
like
obviously our answers are going to be like, yeah, it's fucking weird. No one should say
but
that.
people do say it.
Like, well, who was it? The anchors on Good Morning America, and they used to do that,
Yeah.
and full blown infidelity.
Oh, dude, that's
I
a
thought
crazy
they were
story.
a real relationship.
No,
that was a work husband, work wife, and then they got caught cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
a great example.
Wasn't Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski on Morning Joe? They had the same thing.
Or is that the same one I'm talking about?
No. And their show I think is still going, but they were like the morning politics show on MSNBC, and they were both married. He was a former congressman. Her dad was like this, like national security advisor guy for Nixon, whatever, or maybe Carter. Anyways, so she and then they were just like, oh yeah, like they would make those jokes, and they would always be like flirty on camera, but you would be like in the back of your mind, you're like, nah, no way. And then they hooked up. Yeah, and I think they might even be together still. So
Yeah, I mean, if you're actually cheating, you definitely can't be calling them your work husband to your
Yeah,
wife.
so I bet you they didn't do that. Probably the Good Morning America. They just got let go, I want to say.
okay,
Yeah.
I didn't follow that story that close.
Yeah, so they had, I think, a tabloid like stalked them and like got like videos.
There was a picture of them at the bar, and they were both like laughing, and she was like hunched over on him, laughing so hard. If you're a guy and you see that, like it's basically like watching a video of your wife getting fucked.
Bro, they had worse than that. They were like I want to say, I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know what I want to say. I don't want to get sued by these people. They had like a video of them in the woods, like
The woods.
they were at like a cottage, and they were like unloading the truck. And
they had a little weekend getaway.
yeah, and like
They might have their own work kids.
they were getting pretty handsy. Work kids. It's my work
So
kid.
It's my work son.
Yeah, my work son.
It's just like when, everybody just, I'm sleeping over at somebody's house, and they sneak away together.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
So you wouldn't be okay if your boyfriend had a work wife?
Absolutely not.
What if he was just like his platonic friend that he called like his friend wife?
What about a work girlfriend?
Yeah.
So basically, that's even worse. Work girlfriend is like, don't just like pussyfoot around.
You might as well
wife.
just be like, I have a mistress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cheating on you.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Hannah.
You're welcome.
So we're 4 for
Appreciate
4.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I knew what this room's reaction would be. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know who would, but it happens enough where people definitely don't think it's not weird.
Yeah. It's a thing that at least a certain segment of the population feels comfortable saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're single and saying that, it's definitely probably a way of just like flirting, and then eventually you get into a relationship from that. But if you are a married man,
Have you ever dated somebody from the office?
no.
Not this office, obviously. It's very limited options for females here.
Oh, kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Danny.
Shut up.
He's a big workplace relationship guy, dude.
My first job out of college, there was like kind of that, where it was like a joke, like, oh, those two are banging.
Don't
Like,
shit where you eat.
Yeah, but it was like a joke because they were like always so like, we're always with each other, always flirting, but it was always like a big joke in the office. And then there was this room, it was a place out in like Hoffman Estates. So it was a room that was supposed to be there for women to have a privacy room to breast pump breast.
Whoa.
Whatever.
Dedicated room
Pump
for
room?
that?
Pump room, yeah. And they were pumping in there. So like somebody went in there to literally like
Different
pump
kind of pump.
yeah.
Wow.
So a woman went in there who had just returned from maternity leave, went in there to pump, and she opened the door, and those two people who everybody had been joking about forever, like, oh, they're hooking up. They were hooking up in there.
Did she have the pump on?
No, I mean, she was not lactating at that time. The other woman had a kit.
It turned into
Damn,
the.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
into
it
the
was a big
smash
scandal.
room.
That
And
is a
they
big
both
scandal.
got fired.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched a video. Like, yeah, the guy's a Good American America guy. He's like grabbing her butt, he's like slapping her butt.
Come
Little
on,
love
man.
tap.
Video, yeah.
I mean, celebrities being unfaithful in public like that is insane.
That's yeah. You gotta
Like
be
no
smarter than that.
sympathy.
Yeah.
So you're not a big workplace guy? I could have swore like the first day, like the girl shows up, Danny's like, "Don't worry, I'll train her."
All the people from the foundation listening to this right now.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Yeah.
I had
You ever
to.
met anybody at a foundation,
I
Danny?
had to. I had to.
No, I haven't.
I had to. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Apology accepted.
Chief, we had some people asking about a laundry update.
Laundry update. I went home. It was my nephew's party. So I went home to the suburbs, stopped at my mom's house, did a load of laundry because the guy was supposed to come on Tuesday. But then we had like a pretty loaded schedule. So I had to call him back and be like, hey, I have to move it. So now it's going to be on Thursday because we had Red Line, we had Dog Walk, Snake Drive. We had a lot of stuff crammed into Tuesday. So for the good of the show, because he was supposed to come between 11 and 1, I postponed my laundry until Thursday. Team guy.
This guy's got
Glad you asked because I am a team guy.
Respect.
Yeah.
This guy's probably got clotheslines in his house right now.
I got piles and piles and piles of dirty laundry.
Yeah, if you didn't
And
listen,
people are telling me to get like fucking drying racks.
I got a drying rack.
What am I gonna do? I have so much laundry. I'd have to get like 12 drying racks.
do you have, and you have to wash it. Do you have like a slop sink where you could take the old washing board?
Right. What are we talking? Oh, drying rack.
Yeah, but the thing is, with a drying rack, you do need to be like a little dry.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, I'll throw something in the dryer for like 5 minutes.
give it a little 5-minute tumble.
Yeah, and then throw it on the drying
What
rack.
kind of clothes you put on? Isn't that like
Just something I know that's going to shrink.
Okay.
That like I don't want to shrink.
Okay.
You know,
Doesn't it get all wrinkly though too?
No.
No?
You dry it for 5 minutes to get the wrinkles up.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
You
Yeah,
know?
I'm not getting dry.
Dude, drying racks are good.
I bought some
I fucking hate
clothes.
drying racks so much.
I feel like they would just be in the. Well, I guess I got piles of clothes in the way too, but I just step on that. I feel like if I have racks, I got to do like. I don't know.
What's a drying rack? Like a towel rack?
No, it's just
it's like a layered
Just Google drying rack. It's like it just holds like 9 shirts.
You know
Like
what it
there's-
is? It's just a fucking rack.
It's just a rack.
Yeah.
It's just a rack.
That's what I kind of figured.
Yeah,
It's like it's like
it's just a fucking rack.
Eddie's got
Think of
racks on drying racks in his house right now.
it's
It's
not
got a
like
wall of drying racks. Is what it sounds like.
I got a drying rack.
Okay.
Okay, sick flex, bro. This guy's got a drying rack and I don't.
I didn't want to do that. You didn't even know what it was. But like I thought it was for like. I feel like my sisters and girls would have like drying racks because like they have like fancier clothes that you just can't.
Right.
Yeah, you have to hang.
Eddie's using a drying rack on his sweatpants.
Yeah.
Listen. I don't have much fucking give. I can't lose many inches.
It definitely is kind of like, it seems like a finer things thing. Like I want a drying rack now.
No.
I think you can get them for like $6.
But I'm
at
saying
Target,
it just shows that like you don't just shove all your clothes in a dryer. Like you actually separate the.
I don't even separate lights from colors anymore.
Yeah.
All my clothes are just Barstool clothes. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Just throw the whole pile on the chair into the washer.
I did get these boots to kind of go through winter.
Can you lift up your foot for the camera, please? A little higher.
It's a nice boot.
Yeah, it's a nice boot. I got it on Amazon, whatever. But the whole reason I decided I'm going to start wearing them, and this has to stay in this room and Dave will never watch it, I feel like I just want to gaslight Dave into feeling shorter. Because like these shoes give me an inch and I'm just going to wear them all the time and not say anything and just like make little, like maybe little short joke jabs and then maybe reach for stuff that's high when I'm wearing these so then he just feels like extra short.
Yeah.
We need to pull off like a Jim Halpert, Dwight Schrute prank where we all just add like a centimeter to the sole of our shoes every week, and so Dave just thinks he's shrinking.
Well, he moves the desk a little bit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here?
Puts like the extra quarters in the phone, so it gets heavier every time. So he picks it up.
Yeah. Well, but then we have to like start taking like group pictures more where we're all just like way taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I swear I'm not getting shorter. Do you have like an appliance that you just fucking hate though? Do you have something like that?
Appliance I hate.
Like obviously, like you think the Office Space scene like that,
Do you just take a baseball bat to a printer?
something like that. Yeah.
Well, our printer, yes, a lot of times.
Was our printer bad?
Sometimes.
I hate our mic box in there. Whatever
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
one of those things is.
Yeah. This thing sucks.
I'm gonna go deaf from doing this job because that thing gets fucking broken. Static explodes in your ear.
Yeah.
I love the washing machine. Couldn't live without the washing machine. Or sorry, the dishwasher. But just the anxiety of knowing like it's loaded and I have to still do some drying and empty it and put everything away.
Dude, so this is kind of weird, but we have this dark cloud, like me and a couple of my buddies from college. There's this guy who used to bounce at a bar, and we saw him after the holidays, and we're like, hey man, he's like, what's up, dude? How's your Christmas? Very nice guy. And he's like, it was good, man. I got a waffle maker. And he's just like a goofy guy. He got a waffle maker. And then, like, he died like a month later. And then ever since then...
Did he put it in his will? The waffle maker?
I don't know. But ever since then, like, we've always had, like, a bad omen attached to waffle makers. And so I know this is irrational. But I'm not fucking around. But anytime me and my buddy are like... So we went to Target, like, a couple days ago. Or, like, a couple weeks ago. And one of my other buddies like, yeah, I might get a waffle maker. We're like, dude, no.
Dude,
like,
stay away from the continental breakfast at the Marriott,
dude,
too.
Yeah, dude, like, it's like a weird thing where we're like, and we did like a grab bag for Christmas, and there was a waffle maker, and like
Final destination.
Yeah, like I felt like I was looking at it, and I didn't want it because I know it's fucking stupid. But there's something attached to me. I have like a mental block against the waffle maker.
What if you went to like Aunt Sather's next door? Would you order waffles?
Yeah, that's
just
fine.
Just the appliance.
Yeah, like a personal, even like the Continental, if you use it and it's not yours,
That's
But
fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like it's-
you're playing a dangerous game.
You think
with
so?
Yes.
No, I think it's just owning a personal one.
Yeah, like the waffle maker is like you bringing the Annabelle doll into your house.
Correct. Yes. Isn't that fucked up? But I'm telling you, I had this conversation with a buddy.
When's your birthday?
Dude, that's fucked up, man.
I'm just gonna put a random waffle maker on Eddie's porch and he gets home. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, don't do that.
No, like we got. What would you say your favorite holiday? St. Joseph's Day is right around the corner. We'll get you a waffle maker.
April Fool's Day.
Halloween, but no.
But waffle makers are such a single-use item. If you go out and buy a waffle maker, you have to be making waffles at least monthly. Or that thing's just collecting dust. How many times are you making waffles at home a year?
I used to, when I was at prep school, we had one in our cafeteria because you obviously do all your meals there.
All your roommates alive?
I don't know. My roommate was this guy named Tim Servant. I don't know if he's still alive. I lost.
Government names.
He could be. He could be dead.
Poor Tim's
I don't
getting-
think Tim
Tim's
would
getting
care.
Facebook searched right now.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And but I would have waffles fucking every day when I was in prep school. A little young 18-year-old chief.
Using your own maker?
It was the property of the school, but I would use it. I would probably use it legitimately 4 to 5 days a week.
Jeez, what are you, Leslie Nope? She's addicted to waffles.
Waffles are fucking great. And that's like another thing with this health crisis. Like, I can't do that anymore. Also, I was talking to this guy who's like a big time health nut, and I was like telling him all this stuff. I'm like, I'm just not losing any weight while I've been like eating nothing but chicken and vegetables and working out. And he's like, he made me think that I have a thyroid problem. So if I actually have a health crisis,
Well, you also told me the other day you haven't gone to the doctor in 10 years, so should probably go get a blood test.
I'm probably gonna do that.
Probably a big
Yeah.
It's about time for that decade check-in.
Probably
Yeah.
good idea, pal.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna. I told my mom over the weekend that I would do it.
Good.
Because she was like, "Why?"
Shout out Marianne.
Yeah.
Dude, but you say that about a waffle maker, yeah. But there are little like knick-knack items. Like I'm sure someone does use that. What else is like that?
Well, I don't know what's like that, but for instance, like a lot of people are probably shouting at home, air fryer. It's their favorite appliance. Even
Those are money.
Even I don't know, a blender is very more multi-use than you would think.
How about-
Smoothies, milkshakes.
Yeah. You know what I have that I fucking love? It's called an immersion blender.
What's that?
Harry's like, oh fuck yeah, immersion blender. But it's like if you're making a soup or something, some kind of stew. I've done it for mashed potatoes before too, and it's just like this thing. It's like this tall, and it's just got a button with an attachment, and you just stick that right in the pot of whatever you're cooking. You're making a tomato soup. You're cooking all that stuff down. You just zip it all around, blend that shit together, leave it in the pot. No pouring, no burning anything, and then you click that thing off and put it in the dishwasher. It's fucking great. Everyone should have an immersion.
I feel like I'm listening to a 3 a.m. infomercial right now.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
I mean, air fryer is gonna like kill the toaster soon.
Yeah.
It's gonna kill a lot of shit soon. Air fryer is like the best, low key like Uber, Venmo, like air fryer.
Yeah. What do you have a single purpose
So
appliance?
at my old job, I worked at a sports company, and we'd work till like 1 a.m. And like morale was low. Like everyone fucking hated their life, dude. We were watching Oakland A's versus fucking the Angels at like midnight.
Calgary Flames, Sharks at 2 in the
Yeah,
morning.
on Friday, Saturday nights, and everyone was just ready to fucking jump out a window.
Eat some waffles.
Yeah, dude. Everyone was just willingly ready to take on the
ready to
waffle
buy a waffle maker.
Yeah, that's exactly. So I bought a snow cone machine for morale.
Oh, how'd that go over?
Dude, everyone loved it.
I bet.
I would just fucking I'd freeze these blocks and I'd just make snow cones for everyone.
This guy's never done anything nice like that for us.
No.
'Cause
zero snow cone machines in here.
Yeah, because dude, we needed it there bad.
Yeah.
Like people were fucking down bad there. So that was nice. Mm-hmm. My mom had a fucking pizzelle maker, which
I
was
don't
the
even know what
most
that is.
dude, most useless fucking thing in the world.
Pizzelle?
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to make pizzelles.
Do you know what a pizzelle is?
No. Can you explain?
It's like a
It sounds like a Pokemon.
pizzelle.
I don't even know how to spell it.
Dude, it's basically a communion. No, do you know, Harry? I don't know.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Dude, they suck.
It's kind of like a waffle, dude.
Yeah, it's an Italian waffle cookie.
I bet it sucks.
Fuck you. That's just an
All right,
Italian
no. So this is basically like you're eating an ice cream, a waffle cone.
Yeah, well, no offense, Mom, but the ones she'd made weren't great. But yeah, that's kind of what it is. You just put powdered sugar on them.
Oh, okay. I kind of know what you're talking about.
I'm seeing these rolled up to make cannolis too.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe I just don't like them. Maybe my
I can get down
fine.
with these if they're
not
like a
bad.
waffle cone.
They're not bad. They just weren't like they wouldn't be my first
cookie choice.
They wouldn't be my first cookie choice, I guess.
I guess the GOAT single purpose appliance.
There's nothing to them.
Might have to be a coffee maker, right?
Coffee
You're
maker?
using that like every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of those things where I was getting a Mr. Coffee brand, and the pot would break like every 6 months. So then I finally like splurged for like not even like a because they have ones that are like $700 to $1,000. So I got one that was like a little over $100, as opposed to like the $30 coffee maker. It's lasted me for years now.
Are you in the business of like making your own coffee?
Oh yeah.
Like getting your own beans and shit. I mean, are you that into coffee?
Like, do I have a plantation somewhere? What do you ask?
I feel like a recent trend. You know how some guys will like, I don't know, call it a midlife crisis. Like, I'm gonna try brewing my own beer. You know, I'm getting all the things. I had a friend of mine.
All right.
He was like, "Are you a coffee guy?" I was like, "Yeah, I drink it a lot." He's like, "Oh, like what kind of beans you've been using?"
How do you roast them?
I was like, "I'm not like into that."
Yeah.
But
No, I went through that crisis.
Yeah?
Not with coffee
See, I know.
specifically, but I had a moment, not a beer thing either, but I remember I was like, I got a lot of natural light. Like, I'm going to have like an herb garden here in my kitchen. I did it for like a week and then it fell apart.
we need like a social experiment where a couple guys from Chicago just live in like Florida for like a month or two and to see how much more productive they are solely because of the sunlight.
I think that can cut both ways.
What do you mean?
I think that sometimes it's like, man, it's so nice. I'm just like, think about the summer. Like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to, like, because it's just nice. You have other alternative things to do. And it's cold. You're like, well, I'm either going to be here or I'm going to go home and sit in front of the TV. So.
But that sunlight, even on last week, it was like 20 degrees and the sun was still out. I'm like, okay. I walked out my
You're
house
talking
and
about day drinking.
Walking on sunshine was
Exactly.
playing in my head.
Well, that's my point. Like, if it's miserable, you're not thinking about, man, I should go start day drinking. You're thinking maybe I'll be productive. That's what they say. Like they get less work done in like San Diego because
They're too used to it.
people are just so like, well, let's just go outside.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I hear you. Side note, sorry I'm distracted. WGN just wrote an article about the gas station Uno's combo.
Where are you in it?
No.
Is your picture the thumbnail?
Nope.
What did they say? What were they saying about it? Glowing reviews?
They're just kind of highlighting
Are
it.
you looking for somewhere to eat your spaghetti while you pump your gas? Come to the Pizzeria Uno Mobile.
Yeah, that's what they did.
Eddie heard it.
Did
Eddie
you
had
try
it
the
first.
slice there?
They don't have slices.
What are we talking about?
Pizzeria? Oh, you can only buy the full pie?
Yeah,
But do they have like a personalized airport size?
I don't know. I didn't.
Zero investigative
All right.
journalism.
Well, thank God WGN is here to tell us what's
weren't
going on
open.
with this.
They weren't open.
Oh, okay.
They
All
weren't
right.
open. But I did find out that they opened like 3 weeks before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
They
any places give single slices of deep dish?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's the D'Agostino's on Addison that will do it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
I mean, a full deep dish pizza is such a commitment.
Can I tell you? I got one maybe 4 months ago. It's not great. And I like D'Agostino's, but like I don't know if it had been sitting there too long. It was just
Yeah.
did not
Chain.
hit.
I got to sprinkle like Tums on my deep dish before I eat it now, so it's not even worth
I
it.
haven't had like a fresh
Sawdust.
deep dish forever.
Yeah. All right then. This was good. We could kick it over now, right? We could kick it over to Brendan and Anna from the 41 and 9 Foundation.
Now that we fully prepared them for this serious conversation.
Great. So we could do that now, and then we'll see everyone tomorrow. We talked to. I have a bathroom attendant on, so another one of Danny's.
Excited for that.
Danny's foes.
I can't wait to hear how much I was just shit on during that. Yeah, they were walking out of the office yesterday, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the guy I was telling you. He hates fucking bathroom attendants."
Great
Yeah,
guy.
I'm with
Great
you on
bathroom
that, though.
attendant. Nice guy.
Yeah.
And I just looked at him. I said, "Why are you the way you are?"
Bathroom attendant tomorrow.
Like I can wash my own hands. Thank you.
Sorry, let's get to Brendan and Anna. Okay, so now we are joined by Brendan Garrity and Anna Schueler from the 41 and 9 Foundation. Anna, well, let's start with you. Let's talk about the 41 and 9 Foundation. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for hopping on. What exactly is the 41 and 9 Foundation? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Certainly. And I think before, I just feel like I have to say thank you, obviously, on behalf of, my mom and dad, my younger brother, Joe, and the rest of the board members, for giving us the platform to talk about this. We certainly know we're not the only people to have gone through it. And we feel fortunate that, the foundation has given us a way to keep Hank's name alive. And you guys, Danny leading us to this and giving us a platform to talk about it. We're very appreciative. So thank you. But yeah, I guess just to get into a bit about Hank. So Henry is my older brother, 2 years older than me. And we grew up the northwest side of Chicago, same block as Brendan Garrity, which is, I think you can make the connection now. But Hank, I would say most people, would agree that from a young age had a pretty big personality, very confident, very poised. And that led into a lot of areas of his life, but primarily through sports. So growing up, he was always kind of the ringleader, and like many of us probably did, playing basketball, baseball, football, whatever it is in the backyards with our friends. Brendan always being a participant, and whoever really, Hank could get to come join us. And he was quite passionate about it. And I'm sure people would remember trying to quit playing the games, and he would throw somewhat of a fit. But, and I only mean to say that because kind of the purpose as to where we're going with it is, why we're in this foundation is obviously from what Hank went through, but also the love of sports that he had, baseball and football primarily. But as we got older, probably in Hank's 8th grade, summer going into 8th grade, he started experiencing some leg pain, back pain, and he was a pretty good football player. And, I think when you're in that age group, you start doing that 2-a-days in August. So we kind of just assumed it was a football related injury. The pain progressed, and, obviously we, came to learn that after an MRI in November of 2006, so his 8th grade year, he was diagnosed with leukemia. So it was obviously, a complete shock to everybody. And I know, when I went in to see Hank when he was first diagnosed, he certainly wouldn't let you know that he was sick. He never kind of let on a face of being scared. He was just going to, attack it. Through the next month or so, we learned that he had a rare subtype of ALL, so acute lymphoblastic leukemia. And I don't mean to get too sciencey, but it's kind of relevant to the foundation. Is the most common form of pediatric leukemia, and Hank had a subtype of that. And there's hundreds of subtypes of ALL, but his was called hypodiploid. And essentially that means that there's a mutation in the chromosome cell, just to put it, I guess bluntly. And at the time in 2006, really the only treatment for that was through a bone marrow transplant, which is essentially just putting, taking out unhealthy cells and putting in new ones in hopes of it working, because there wasn't a lot of studies on hypodiploid. So in March of 2007, so he had a couple months of chemotherapy and radiation. He underwent the process of a bone marrow transplant. He did that at the University or Children's Hospital of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. There was the leading research was there. And he actually was in remission and out of the hospital in 41 days, ironically. And he was back home. So he was back home in the spring of his 8th grade year. He made it his mission to get back to playing sports again. He graduated with his 8th grade class. And by the end of the summer of 2007, he actually got his first, hit again in his baseball game on his travel team. So, certainly it was a long road. And I know in the initial diagnosis, there was a, pretty high, chance that the cancer would come back. And unfortunately in Labor Day, so a couple of weeks following his first day at St. Pat's High School, he relapsed. So he was basically told, you can either go home and not have to deal with this again, or you can fight it. And to no one's shock, he chose to fight it. Unfortunately in October, he contracted a fungus infection. So what would be a common cold to you and I, to a cancer patient who has a very, immune compromised body, it was quite invasive. And the fungal infection was called mucormycosis. And pretty much nothing was known about it besides that it's incredibly invasive and attacks your sinuses. And we didn't really have anywhere to turn. And doctors just kind of seemed to be playing catch up, if you will. And that's to no one's fault. It just was at the time that Hank contracted it that we didn't know anything about it. So in December of 2007, Hank lost his battle. And, during those last couple months of his treatment and, battle with cancer and this infection, he did ask, my parents to find out why it happened to him and to make sure it wouldn't happen to any other kids. And I think looking back on it as I'm older now, I was 12 at the time. That's pretty amazing for a 14-year-old, but that's kind of what his personality was like. He was no saint, but he was a pretty tough kid. And it led us to the 41 and 9 Foundation. So 41 was Hank's football number and 9 was his baseball number. And through the past, 14 years or so, 13, 14 years, we've raised almost $2 million. And that money goes to both research for hypodiploid, which is that subtype of cancer that Hank had, and to mucormycosis, which was the infectious, the fungus infection that Hank contracted. And we have 2 doctors, one Dr. Charles Mulligan at St. Jude's in Memphis, who leads the practice for hypodiploid research, and then Dr. Thomas Walsh, who's an infectious disease doctor and leads the research front of mucormycosis. And over the years, we've been put in contact with kids who have, gotten the same diagnosis that Hank had. And fortunately, we've met a lot of people that have had a lot of different outcomes. And it's certainly been a healing process, but in a way, it's, we know we're happy that Hank is obviously helping kids with what he went through. But some of the ways we raise money are through bike rides. So we do bike rides from Chicago to Milwaukee. And then since 2016 or 17, Brendan and Gianna Funkhauser, who are 2 of Hank's best friends from childhood, have started this gala and casino night. And it's been a pretty fun, and we reach out to a lot of different people. And Brendan, if you want to talk a bit about how it started and what we kind of aim to do at this event, that'd be good.
Absolutely. Thanks, Anna. So the gala and casino night, we started 7 years ago, because we had an off year with COVID. But it was really targeted to open up a new channel for fundraising and bring another event aside from the bike ride. We were doing Cubs games, rooftops, things like that at the time. But this really gave us a chance to reach call it younger demographic, anywhere from 20 to 35, which was not where the majority of our fundraising efforts were coming from. So this was to attract a younger crowd. This will be our 6th annual, and the gala and casino night for 2023 is coming up on February 18th. So not this Saturday, but the following. And we have a new location for it. It's at Venue West in the West Loop. The new location, honestly, Anna kind of hinted at it. It speaks to the growth that we've seen year over year with this event. So year 1, we had about, I don't know the exact number, but call it about 200 attendees. I think raised in the neighborhood of about 22K that night. Since then, we've more than doubled both of those. So our target this year is about 50 to 55K with about 500 people in attendance. So again, thank you to the Barstool guys for bringing us on. This obviously gives us a great platform to reach a bunch of people that knew Hank but didn't know about the event, knew about the event but didn't know Hank, and everything in between. So a little bit of background, a few pointers on the event itself. So it's called the Gala because we require cocktail attire. So it's a little fancy when it comes to the dresses and the suits and everything in the building. But the casino night part of it is where the real fun comes in. So we transform the venues, this year, Venue West, into really a casino. We work with a Chicago-based casino company who comes in, brings everything from roulette to craps to blackjack, you name it. And guests with their ticket upon arrival are given chips that they'll use to gamble when they're not catching up with old friends, meeting new people, things like that. We have some great raffle prizes every year. I think this year is probably the best. So everything ranging from Cubs, Bears, Hawks tickets to restaurant gift cards, Let Us Entertain You, Gibson's, and the like. A gift basket from our friends at Nosotros for tequila, a gift basket from these guys at Barstool Chicago. Much appreciated there. I think that'll be one of the big items for the taking this year. And then lastly, a round of golf at Beverly Country Club. Those are just some teasers. But what we've always done is had doctors come in and speak, and we'll have that again this year. There will be a video from a doctor talking about what the foundation, what Anna was speaking to, what we've enabled them to do with the $2 million that we've raised. Obviously, very gratifying number there, but we want to keep going up and up on that. So in terms of entertainment this year, we're actually changing up a tiny bit. We will, like I said, have the video of a doctor, but we're bringing in Nikki Smiggs, actor and comedian, who will do a stand-up set. We'll also have the amazing Brando walking around doing some magic tricks for guests, which will be pretty cool. So it's going to be an awesome night. It always has been. But this most important thing for all of those listening, you're really helping, and it's not an exaggeration, it's not dramatic to say you're helping to fund and support groundbreaking and life-changing research. So the foundation itself has been one of the more, if not the most gratifying things in my life, and being able to have fun alongside it with a night like this, but also obviously keeping in mind why we're doing this for Hank, for people like Hank, and for his wish to make sure that this didn't happen to kids like him. So again, anybody that's listening here, we would love to have you. This is a more the merrier type of thing. This is not an exclusive club or anything. Please spread it to your friends, because our goal is to have to get next year an even bigger venue to accommodate, say, 750 or 1,000 people. So again, thank you to the Barstool guys for having us on here. This is great. Obviously a great platform. Just gives us another chance, not only for the gala itself, but just to really get the word out about the mission. There's all kinds of sponsorship opportunities throughout the year, not just this event. So we'd love the chance to have anybody out. And thank you both, Eddie and Danny.
Yeah, I mean, the reason this is so personal to me, you were saying Hank's mission was to make sure anyone else diagnosed with leukemia, found a way to beat it. And ever so strangely enough, I was diagnosed with ALL, I think exactly 2 years from the date that he was. So I didn't even know your family at the time. And your dad came knocking on my door with a very generous donation to help us out. And I will say, ever since you guys have always had unreal events, the Cubs games, I tend to accidentally miss the Cycle for a Cure every year, but I will definitely be there at casino night.
My dad drives in a car filming everyone, so if he ever needs a partner, I'll let you know. It's a lot easier to drive up to Milwaukee than it is to bike, I'll say first time.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
That's good to know. And where can they get the tickets for casino night?
Yes, Talk. Talk is not to be... I am actually employed by Talk. I promise this is not
plugging your own apps here. This is what this is all about.
Look at this.
But yes, if you go to the 4109 website, henryschueler.org, as well as Talk's website for restaurants reservations, search 4109 in there. You will find the 6th annual event listed. And we could also, of course, do anything to provide you guys with a link, Danny, if that would be helpful.
Already bought it. But yes, we will include it with this podcast, link in bio.
Yeah, we'll keep everything in the bio and everything. 2 million's no joke. That's awesome, guys.
It's amazing.
So that's great. That sounds like an awesome event. And anybody listening, go check it out. February 18th coming up, or just go to the website, see how else you can get involved. So thanks for jumping on. This is really cool. So
yeah, we'll see you in our suits, dressed to our finest. Everyone wants a reason to dress up, so thank you for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem. Thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank you guys. See you soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Bye.
guys, thank you.
Bye. All right, everybody. That's it for today. We will see you all tomorrow.